Stop whatever you are doing right now, because if you or someone you love has been waiting for a green card, this April 2026 Visa Bulletin could literally change everything for you this month. The U.S. Department of State just dropped the April 2026 Visa Bulletin, and I have gone through every single page of it line by line so that you do not have to. And what I found is massive. We are talking about one of the most significant visa bulletins we have seen in years. 65 visa categories moved forward this month. 65. And only one retrogressed. F2A, the category for spouses and minor children of green card holders, is now current across every single country in the world. That means if you are in this category and you are inside the United States right now, you may be able to file your green card application today. EB2 for rest of world is current. EB3 for rest of world is current. EB2 India jumped nearly 10 months in one single bulletin. This is not normal. Something extraordinary is happening. And by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what it is, exactly who qualifies, and exactly what steps you need to take right now before this window closes. My name is Your Name, and welcome back to Channel Name, the channel where we break down U.S. immigration news in plain English every single week. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now because content like this comes out every time the Visa Bulletin drops. Let us get into it. On screen, simple animation, Visa Bulletin, uscis, your monthly green card roadmap. Before I get into the numbers, because I know many of you have been watching for a while and already know this, I want to make sure our newer viewers are completely caught up. So bear with me for just 2 minutes. Understanding this foundation is going to make everything else click. Every single month, the U.S. Department of State releases something called the Visa Bulletin. Think of it as the government's official calendar for green cards. It tells you when you can move forward with your application or when you have to keep waiting. Now, here's the key thing you need to understand about how the Visa Bulletin works. There are 2 charts inside it. Chart A, called the final action dates, and Chart B, called the dates for filing. Chart A, the final action dates, is the harder bar. It tells you when your green card can actually be approved. When your priority date is current on this chart, uscis can finalize your permanent residence. Chart B, the dates for filing, is an earlier, easier bar. It tells you when you can submit your paperwork, your I-485 application to uscis. You are not approved yet, but you are in the system. And this is huge, because once you file your I-485, you can apply for a work permit called an EAD and a travel document called advance parole, even before your green card is approved. Here's the other critical thing. Each month, USCIS separately announces which chart they will honor for that month. In April 2026, USCIS has confirmed they are honoring the dates for filing chart, Chart B, for both family-based and employment-based categories. This is confirmed official, and it opens the door for tens of thousands of people who were previously stuck. Now let me explain what a priority date is because everything revolves around this. Your priority date is simply the date that the government received your original petition. For family cases, it is usually when your relative filed the I-130 for you. For employment cases, it is usually when your employer filed the labor certification, the PERM, on your behalf. If your priority date is earlier than the date listed in the applicable chart, you can move forward. If it is later, you wait. Got it? Good. Now let us look at the actual numbers for April 2026, starting with the biggest news of this bulletin. On screen, serious tone. Show presidential proclamation references. Before I break down each category, you need to understand why this is happening, because it will help you understand both the opportunity and the risk. The April 2026 Visa Bulletin itself is very transparent about the reason. 2 presidential proclamations, Proclamation 2949 and Proclamation 2998, along with what the State Department calls immigrant visa processing updates, have significantly reduced the number of immigrant visas being issued at U.S. consulates and embassies abroad. Essentially, the current administration's travel restrictions and immigrant visa processing pauses, affecting nationals of nearly 40 countries under the travel ban and up to 75 countries under the broader processing pause, have dramatically slowed down consular immigrant visa issuance overseas. Now here's the critical immigration math. Congress sets a fixed number of immigrant visas every single year. For fiscal year 2026, that number is approximately 226,000 family-sponsored visas and at least 140,000 employment-based visas. If consulates abroad are not using their share of those visa numbers, the State Department redistributes them, including to people inside the United States adjusting their status. This is causing the filing dates to advance rapidly because there are suddenly more visa numbers available. But here is the warning, and I want to be very direct about this because this is not just boilerplate language. The Department of State has explicitly stated in the April Bulletin that retrogression may be necessary later in fiscal year 2026 if demand patterns shift, or if the administration reverses or softens its restrictive visa policies. The fiscal year ends September 30th, 2026, so the window is real, but it may not stay open, which is exactly why every immigration attorney I follow is saying the same thing right now. If you are eligible to file now. Do not wait. On screen, family category chart. Highlight each row as you speak. All right, let us go through the family-based categories one by one. I am going to give you the actual numbers from the official bulletin, tell you what changed from March, and tell you exactly what it means for you. Starting with F1, unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. This is the category for adult unmarried children, meaning 21 years of age or older, of U.S. citizens. The dates for filing for most countries moved to March 1st, 2018. Mexico is at April 15th, 2008. Philippines at April 22, 2015. What this means practically, if your parent is a U.S. citizen, you are unmarried, and your I-130 was approved with a priority date before March 1st, 2018, you may be eligible to file your I-485 adjustment of status this month. Check your I-130 approval notice, find your priority date, and compare it to the chart. Now, F2A. And this is the headline of this entire bulletin. So, I need you to pay close attention. F2A covers spouses and unmarried children under 21 of lawful permanent residents, green card holders, and this category has gone current across all countries on the dates for filing chart. Let me say that again clearly because this is extraordinary. The dates for filing for F2A is marked C, current, for every single country in the world. All chargeability areas, China, India, Mexico, Philippines, everywhere current. This means that if you are a green card holder, a lawful permanent resident, and your spouse or your minor child is either here in the U.S. on a valid visa status or is abroad waiting for a consular interview, this is your moment. For applicants inside the United States, if you have not yet filed an I-485 for your spouse or child, and they are currently in lawful status, you can file it now, immediately, this month. You do not need to wait any longer. And one more critical point for F2A specifically, because you are filing under Chart B, dates for filing, and even if your final action date has not arrived yet, you can file your I-485, get your work permit, get your advanced parole travel document, and build real stability for your family while waiting for the final approval. This is not a small thing. This is life-changing for thousands of families. Moving on, F2B. This is the category for unmarried adult children 21 or older of green card holders. This category also saw strong movement. The dates for filing for most countries moved to August 8, 2017, a jump of nearly 6 months from March. Philippines moved to April 8, 2013. F3 covers married adult children of U.S. citizens. This month, the dates for filing for most countries advanced to November 22, 2012. Philippines moved to July 1, 2005. And F4, the sibling category, brothers and sisters of adult U.S. citizens. I want to be real with you about this one. This category is deeply backlogged. For most of the world, people who filed petitions nearly 18 years ago are just now coming up for filing. For Mexico, the wait is over 25 years. For India, November 2006. For Philippines, February 2007. That said, F4 did advance by 5 months this bulletin for most countries, which is meaningful even if the wait remains very long. The dates for filing for most countries is May 15, 2009. On-screen, EB chart, highlight each row in sequence, energy picks up. Now let us talk employment-based categories. This is where things get really technical, but also where some of the most dramatic movement happened. Remember, uscis has confirmed that employment-based applicants use the dates for filing chart in April. That is the chart I will focus on. EB1, priority workers. This category covers people with extraordinary ability in their field, outstanding professors or researchers, and certain multinational executives and managers. For the dates for filing chart, EB1 is current for all chargeability areas, Mexico and Philippines. This is unchanged, but it means if you are an EB1 applicant from most countries, you can file your I-485 right now with no waiting. For China and India, the dates for filing cutoff remains December 1st, 2023. However, on the final action dates chart, meaning actual approval, China and India advance by 1 month to April 1st, 2023. Small but real progress. For Indian EB1 applicants, if your priority date is before December 1st, 2023, you are eligible to file your I-485 this month. That is the bottom line. EB2, advanced degree professionals and exceptional ability workers. This is the big story on the employment side this month. Let me go country by country. For rest of world, meaning all countries except China and India, EB2 is fully current on both the final action date and the dates for filing. This is a massive advance. If you are an EB2 applicant from most countries and you have not filed yet, there is literally no priority date barrier. You can file your I-485 today. Mexico and Philippines are also current on EB2 dates for filing. Current, no wait. For China, EB2 dates for filing remains frozen at January 1st, 2022. The final action date holds at September 1st, 2021. China EB2 has been essentially stagnant for 3 consecutive months. The existing demand from China is enough to absorb the per-country allocation even with overall reduced issuance. For India, and this is enormous, the EB2 dates for filing cutoff advanced by 2.5 months to January 15, 2015. The final action date advanced by approximately 10 months to July 15, 2014. India EB2 applicants with a priority date before January 15, 2015 can now file their I-485. If your priority date is between September 15, 2013 and July 15, 2014, you are now eligible for final action. Do not delay. EB3, skilled workers and professionals, and EB3 also delivered massive news this month. For rest of world and Mexico, EB3 dates for filing is now current, a jump from January 15, 2024. That is a huge leap, and the final action date advanced by 8 months to June 1st, 2024. If you are an EB3 professional or skilled worker from most countries, you can file your I-485 now regardless of your priority date. For India EB3, the dates for filing cutoff advanced by 5 months to January 15th, 2015. Now here is something important for Indian nationals, especially those who previously downgraded from EB2 to EB3. In April 2026, both EB2 India and EB3 India dates for filing are now exactly the same. January 15th, 2015, there is no longer any filing advantage to downgrading from EB2 to EB3 this month. In fact, because the EB2 India final action date is currently 8 months ahead of EB3, if you previously downgraded to EB3, you may want to discuss with your attorney whether reverting to EB2 could result in a faster final approval. This is case-specific, but it is a conversation worth having right now. For China EB3, the final action date advanced by 45 days to June 15, 2021. Modest but real. Dates for filing for China EB3 remains at January 1st, 2022, identical to EB2 China. So again, no downgrade advantage. For Philippines EB3, dates for filing remains at January 1st, 2024. The other workers category, also known as EB3 other workers, for most countries advanced by 5 weeks to August 1st, 2022. For India, other workers, dates for filing advanced 5 months to January 15th, 2015. EB4 special immigrants, including religious workers, advanced by a full year this month. One of the biggest movements in this category we have seen in a long time. If you are an EB4, this is very good news and worth discussing with your attorney immediately. And EB5, immigrant investors, remains largely stable. For the unreserved categories, China's cutoff advanced slightly by about 2 weeks. India remains at May 1st, 2022. All other countries remain current. On-screen world map. Brief section, keep energy up. Let me also give you a quick update on the DV 2026 Diversity Visa Program, also known as the Green Card Lottery. For anyone watching who was selected in the lottery, the annual limit for DV 2026 has been set at approximately 52,000 visas, lower than the original 55,000 due to deductions under NACARA and the National Defense Authorization Act. Visas are still being made available for April. If you are a DV 2026 selectee, you need to act with extreme urgency. Your entitlement to immigrant status expires on September 30th, 2026. After that date, unused DV visas cannot be carried over. They are gone forever. So if you have been selected and you have not yet completed your process, please contact the Kentucky Consular Center or the embassy processing your case immediately. On screen, step-by-step checklist animation, urgent but organized tone. This is the section I know everyone is waiting for. What do you actually do with this information? Let me give you a clear, step-by-step action plan based on what immigration attorneys are recommending right now. Step 1. Find your priority date. Before anything else, you need to know this number. For family cases, look at the I-130 receipt notice or approval notice from uscis. It will show the priority date. For employment cases, it is typically on the I-140 approval notice or the PERM labor certification. If you cannot find these documents, contact whoever filed the petition, your family member, or your employer, and get this date. Everything starts here. Step 2. Identify your category and your country of chargeability. Your country of chargeability is almost always your country of birth, not your citizenship. This matters a lot because the wait times differ significantly by country. Make sure you are looking at the right row in the chart. Step 3. Check the dates for filing chart for April 2026. Go to the official USCIS website at uscis.gov/Visa Bulletin info. I will link it in the description below, and confirm that USCIS is honoring the dates for filing chart for your category. Then look at the April 2026 Visa Bulletin and find your category and country. If your priority date is earlier than the date listed, or if the category shows current, you may be eligible to file now. Step 4. Contact an immigration attorney immediately. I need to be very clear here. This video is for informational purposes only. I am not an attorney. And for something as important as a green card application, you absolutely need to work with a licensed immigration attorney who can review your specific circumstances, your current visa status, your immigration history, and make sure everything is filed correctly. A mistake on an I-485 can have serious consequences. Do not try to do this alone. Find an immigration attorney this week. Step 5. File as quickly as possible. If you are eligible, file. Do not wait to see what happens next month. The bulletin itself explicitly warns that retrogression is possible later in the fiscal year. Multiple immigration attorneys and experts are saying the same thing publicly. The window is open, it may not stay open. If you have a qualifying priority date and you are in lawful status in the United States right now, the time to act is now, not next month. On screen, red warning visual, measured, serious tone. I want to spend a minute on something that is not exciting, but is critically important, and that is the retrogression risk. What we are seeing right now, these enormous advances in priority dates, is being driven by a very specific and potentially temporary situation. Reduced consulate activity overseas due to the current administration's travel restrictions and visa processing pauses. The State Department is explicitly saying this in the bulletin, but here is what that means for you. If the administration reverses these policies, if the travel bans are lifted or softened, if consular processing resumes at normal rates, the demand for visa numbers will increase dramatically. And when that happens, the State Department may be forced to retrogress priority dates in a future bulletin, push them backward, maybe May 2026, maybe June, maybe later. Nobody knows exactly when, but the risk is real and it is acknowledged in the official bulletin itself. This is not a reason to panic, but it is a reason to act. Once you have filed your I-485, you are generally protected even if dates retrogress later, because your application is already pending. So if you are eligible, get it filed. It's fine. On screen, benefits checklist, upbeat tone. I want to make sure you understand just how significant filing your I-485, even before your final green card is approved, actually is. First, work authorization. Once you file your I-485, you can simultaneously file Form I-765, the Employment Authorization Document, EAD. This work permit allows you to work for any employer in the United States. You are no longer tied to your current employer. For people on H-1B visas who have felt trapped in their current job because of their immigration status, this is freedom, real freedom. Second, travel flexibility. Along with your I-485, you can file Form I-131, Advanced Parole. This travel document allows you to leave and re-enter the United States while your adjustment application is pending, without needing to maintain a separate non-immigrant visa like an H-1B or F-1. Third, stability and peace of mind. Once your I-485 is filed, your case is in USCIS's queue. Even if priority dates retrogress in a future bulletin, your pending application generally protects you. You are in the system, you are on the path, and that matters enormously for your quality of life and your family's stability. And fourth, derivative benefits for family members. When you file an I-485, your spouse and your unmarried children under 21 who are also in the United States can generally file their own I-485 applications as derivative beneficiaries, even if their names were not on the original petition. They can also receive work permits and advance parole. On screen, mistake graphics, friendly but firm tone. Before I wrap up, I want to flag some common mistakes that I see people make when navigating Visa Bulletin updates, especially during periods of rapid movement like this one. Mistake number 1. Confusing your country of citizenship with your country of chargeability. Your chargeability country is your birth country, not where your passport is from. If you were born in India but are a citizen of Canada, your chargeability is India for purposes of the Visa Bulletin. This catches a lot of people off guard. Mistake number 2, using the wrong chart. USCIS specifically confirms each month which chart to use. For April 2026, it is the dates for filing chart for both family and employment categories. But this can change next month. Always check uscis.gov Visa Bulletin info before filing. Mistake number 3, waiting to see what happens next month. I understand the impulse. What if the dates advance even further in May? But here's the problem. If dates advance, you can always wait. If they retrogress and you have already filed, you are protected. The risk is asymmetric. The downside of waiting is much worse than the downside of filing early. Mistake number 4, filing without legal help. I know attorneys are expensive, but an I-485 package is complex. It requires biometrics, a medical examination by a uscis designated physician, extensive supporting documentation, and careful attention to your entire immigration history. A denied I-485 can have severe consequences. Please invest in qualified legal help for this step. And mistake number 5, not knowing your priority date. I said this before, but I will say it again. Your priority date is the foundation of everything. If you do not know it, you cannot make informed decisions. Find it today. On screen. Summary card with key dates, presenter back on camera, warm, direct, motivating close. All right, let me bring it all together for you. Here's your April 2026 Visa Bulletin summary. F2A, spouses and minor children of green card holders, is current for filing across all countries worldwide. If this is you, contact an attorney this week. EB1, current for most countries. China and India cut off at December 1st, 2023 for filing. EB2, current for rest of world, Mexico, and Philippines. India advanced to January 15, 2015 for filing, with final action at July 15, 2014. China frozen at January 2022. EB3, current for rest of world and Mexico for filing. India advanced to January 15, 2015. Same as EB2 India, eliminating the downgrade advantage. EB4 advanced a full year. Big movement, check with your attorney. And the critical warning, the Department of State has explicitly flagged that retrogression is possible later in fiscal year 2026. This window may not remain open. If you are eligible to file, file now. If this video helped you understand the April 2026 Visa Bulletin, please give it a thumbs up right now. It helps more people who need this information find it. Drop your category and your country in the comments below. And tell me, are you eligible to file this month? I personally read every single comment and try to point you in the right direction. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We release a full Visa Bulletin breakdown every single month, plus breaking immigration news whenever it happens. And please, if you know someone who is waiting for a green card, share this video with them. You could literally change their life by doing that. I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and take action while the window is open.